Page 109, Brazilian Boogie. Another boogie woogie. Gotta love it. Well, if you like boogie woogies, too. I like boogie woogies. Let's look it over. Nothing new here. We're just using stuff we already know. 1 page long. Treble bass clef. No sharps or flats in the key signature. At the end, we're in the key of C major, so make sure you're doing the scales for C major and A minor, because those have no sharps or flats in them. And common time again, or 4/4 time, and once again we got eighth notes going nuts. But this is just in the right hand. Right hand, you're starting here, and it's just a 5-finger or a pentascale. And then the second one, we make it a C minor. The middle note goes down. Yeah, and the third measure, it's E major. Remember, that flat's only good for that measure, and it's good for all of the rest of the measures. So both of those E's in that measure, in the second measure, are flat, but in the third measure, it's not. Okay, and then when you get to the end of the first line, you're here, just lift up. Not crazy about it, but you can scrunch up and move too, because now we're in the 4-chord area, and we're doing the same thing, only this is an F major. And then F minor, which is again the middle note goes down. And then and then measure 9, you come up 1, this is 5-chord. And then the middle note goes down, G minor, G major. And the last one, just reach out and come down. It's like the first line, sort of. Left hand has this pattern again. We already had this, except now it's quarter notes. Put them together, it does. Get the idea? You put the hands together. Using the same chord progression, more or less, as we used in 108, except here we're doing the major and minor. C major, C minor, F major, F minor, G major, G minor. Okay. The left hand isn't really affected because it's not playing the third of the chord. The middle note, it's not playing that note. So it's the same notes, major or minor, doesn't matter. Again, we're moving the hands around, but we can move one hand at a time, makes it a little easier. So at the end of the first line, you're here, and as you're playing these notes in the right hand at the end of the line, move your left hand up where it needs to go, so it's ready to go, so that when we get to measure 5, all you're doing is adjusting the right hand. Their left hand is already there. So at the end of the first line, you're here. Both hands are going to come up a little bit. Go ahead and move the left hand up. Have it ready. Go here. And then you're ready. Just the right hand adjusts. And at the end of the third line, you're here. Again, get the left hand down where it goes as you're playing, so that all you got to do is move the right hand down. So I'm moving one hand at a time, so the beat is a steady beat throughout. And once I have that, I think about the articulation. And here it's pretty much connected. And here, you see under the stab it says legato. That's the same as a big slur, curved line over the whole thing, except the rest. So just connect the left hand. Because if they didn't say anything there, then it's entirely up to you how you would like to interpret it. You could have disconnected them. But when they put in legato like that, now you don't have a choice. They just connect them. That's all the way through like that. Then the dynamics, this applies to the melody, which is the right hand, so it's moderately soft. So whatever you think sort of soft is, this needs to be really soft. And the second line, you go up to moderately loud, whatever that is. Left hand soft. Third line, now you're loud. Left hand can come up a little bit, but keep it in the background. Then measure 13, you're back to moderately loud. Right hand. Yeah. It's like each line has a different dynamic, but you need to feel it. Because you might want to get a little louder and softer as you're playing it. If you feel it, put it in. For instance, at the beginning, I might play the first measure moderately soft, and then play the second measure a little louder, then come back down. Something. Or whatever. I can experiment with getting louder and softer on different. Just play around with it. See, all the time you spend playing around with the dynamics in these things, you're actually practicing the piece. You're practicing the notes and you're getting them better and better and better and more comfortable as you're doing that. So I encourage people, experiment with it because you're practicing while you're experimenting. Speed, again, it's how fast you want the eighth notes to go. That's somewhere in there, I don't know. It's up to you. Don't copy me. I play at a different speed every time I played it. And when you're playing and the dynamics, you're just heavier for the loud. In this third line, I'm just really heavy. A lot of weight's going on the keys. Where on the first line, not too much weight. I'm controlling how much weight. That's why it's called a controlled weight distribution. I control how much weight I'm using. Now remember the natural accents. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Wrist claps a little bit. 1, 2. Remember the natural accents. They're important. Feel them one as you're playing this. So you go through and learn it. And when you feel you're ready, let's play it together very slowly, just to check the notes and the rhythms. I'm not going to do the louds and softs, just notes and rhythms. I'll give us 4 quarter note counts, but like the last lesson, I put the metronome on 8th notes, so it's beating 8th notes. 1 and 2 and ready and go and. And rest